Dominy Shops. I'm Bob Hefner, historic preservation consultant who designed and supervised the project. The house was built by Nathaniel Dominy IV in 1773. It was a very, very fancy house for East Hampton at that time. Of course, he was a well-known woodworker, and this was in a way an advertisement for his skills and services. The house has painted beaded clapboards and pediments over the windows and doors. Very, very nice Georgian, one of the best Georgian houses in the village. We have a wide double doorway as we walk in and the millstone steps. Okay, now, as most people know, the Dominys are famous as millwrights, furniture makers, clock makers. Many of their clocks and furniture remain in East Hampton and elsewhere. The house was demolished in 1946, but the two shops were saved. They have a clock-making shop with a forge in it for metalworking and a woodworking shop. And these were saved by a man named Dudley Roberts at that time, recognizing their value for the future, and they were given to the village in 2013. And we decided that the best thing to make this into something really significant was to reconstruct the house as a timber frame and put the two shops back in their original configuration. So what we have here is the timber frame. The contractor was John Hummel, and the timber frame was done by the New Jersey Barn Company. This is all hand-hewn, exactly as Nathaniel Dominy would have done it, with a broad axe. It was assembled on the ground and then disassembled, put back together again, and raised here. So this space is going to be our exhibit area, and it also is itself a example of craftsmanship, of woodworking tools. This is the clock shop. It was a very narrow door going into the clock shop, and this had a room for a forge and a workroom. And the forge is right here, and this is a photograph you're looking at from 1940 when the house was recorded by the Historic American Building Survey. And this is the forge. This is going to be one of the major projects of our Phase 2 work to restore the interior of the shops. We actually have some of the original bricks that were salvaged by Mr. Roberts. And in the workroom, we have the original paneling with outlines of the workbenches and the shelves. We have excellent documentation of the tools and the workbenches and the configuration of the inside of the shop. Thank goodness the Historic American Building Survey recorded the Dominy house before it was taken apart, and this has been invaluable in restoring and reconstructing. So this is really almost all original material, and the reconstruction is 100% accurate. And this is very nice. This is the outside of the house, and this house is 1793. The clock shop is 1798, and it was just attached to the outside of the house with a spike going through here that connected it. So we're going into the Woodworking Shop, which was also a later addition. Woodworking Shop is 1791, and it was added on to this part of the main house. And this was primarily in 1791, Nathaniel Dominy V was 21 years old, and he was taking over the woodworking aspect. Before that, they had a very small workshop, so this allowed them to expand. And this is almost all the original material. It has the character of the original shop. And one of the great things you see when you have the workbench organized set in front of the window where it is, you can see where Nathaniel Dominy did most of his work, which is right in front of this window. This is a little bit of an overcast day. There's plenty of light right here on the workbench for him to work. In relation to that, we found that there was an original fireplace in this corner, which is directed, it's a little bit of an unusual angle, but it's directed right at that window. So the heat from the fireplace went right to where Mr. Dominy was working during the winter time, that he could do tasks that did require heat. And we have a lathe set up where the Dominy lathe was. There's a great wheel lathe. There was a pole lathe over here where the Dominy had his lathe. And you can see from the two historic photographs that document the configuration of the shop and how all the tools were laid out. And another workbench in the west wall probably was where you might move in the afternoon, following the sun around for the light. I'll stand in front of this clock. This clock was given to the village of East Hampton a couple of years ago. It was in a house on Newtown Lane, the Hedges family. A lot of people have come forward with Dominy furniture and tools, appreciating that this is the place to display these items. We've put these items in here temporarily. The project is not finished. We are going to be embarking on phase 2 beginning in November of 2021, so that by the summer of 2022, hopefully we can be open for visitors, and this will become the world-class Museum of American Craftsmanship.